Are you a novice when it comes to editing your raw recordings? Like, you don't know what the proper level should be, if it's too low or too much. Like you just want to hand it off to some professional audio engineer to do all the work for you, but man, that might cost me. Well, good news for you, as we'll be reviewing the newest AI plugin for solving all these concerns for treating your raw recording. Introducing GainAimPro from Noiseworks Audio. Let's dive into it. Welcome to a live review of this new plugin that basically saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of stress, and basically saves you from editing raw recordings. Or if you're not really versed into, editing your own audio, or you need to hire like a professional technician or a sound engineer to manage your own audio, then this might be the plugin for you. Presenting GainAimPro from Noiseworks Audio. Now, these guys reached out to me like a couple of weeks ago. Sorry for it's been late. I mean, when they released this a couple of weeks ago, they were selling it at 40% off. And apparently that was the introductory rate, and I was supposed to post this video during that time, but life happens, getting busy and all. So anyways, GainAimPro is voice editing has never been so easy. Okay, so it claims to perfectly level gain, match your signals. It has an AI voice gate. It detects breaths, sibilants, and it also repairs instruments. But this video is meant for voiceover artists, voice actors who may not have a technician but want to get it done easily. So this one's for you. So let's dive into it. Okay. So we're on the site noiseworksaudio.com. Basically, when you avail of this plugin, everything is on the site really. You'll be seeing a lot of tutorials, and just in case you have a hard time, right now it's selling at $169. We'll see if it's worth it. Vocal editing has never been so easy, so gain writing, so basically it conditions, it puts a final varnish on your audio levels, voice gating, breath, sibilance. Those are the actual fours. Anyways, I'll get into the clicking later. Discover GainAimPro. So just in case you have trouble installing the plugin into your DAW, your digital audio workspace, there on the right side over here, they teach you how to install it into your DAW and where to find it, because it's different per DAW. So you can use that YouTube tutorial. On the left is basically their how it operates in a nutshell. Okay, but it doesn't. For me, when I watched the video and when I operated on the plugin, it didn't really answer a lot of questions. So basically, I'm going to be letting you know when I was tampering with it, this is what I found, and it might help you. Okay. So basically everything is on there. You can just read everything that you need on the website before you purchase it. By the way, this is not a sponsored post, so don't worry. This is just me trying to help out other voiceovers who are having trouble editing and finding the right EQs and whatnot. Okay? Now, before when I purchased the plugin, I had a hard time finding it. And apparently, they're very responsive in their tech support. Apparently, I was working on an older OS, and they suggested that I upgrade my OS. So I forgot which OS I was on. So I had to upgrade to Sonoma, OS Sonoma. And when I did, I eventually found the plugin working. Okay, so let's get into the session. Right here, I have a friend who recorded for me using WhatsApp. So obviously, the recording won't be as ideal as possible. So let's see how GainAimPro helped out. Just for a disclaimer, everything on my Pro Tools session is off. No other plugins are on here. It's as raw as possible. So if you can see here, I turned off my plugin over here, and it set the volume at 0. It's mapped out to an auxiliary, and I turned off all of my plugins there as well. And I also put the volume level at 0. Also on my master, turned off all my plugins there and put it at 0 as well. So this is as raw as it gets. Okay, let's have a listen.
Yellow Sea, somewhere off the coast of Jeju Island. It's destroying the Gyeonggi-ho! Fire everything we have. Sir, we've launched our entire volley. The men are reloading the deck cannons now. Tell them not to wait for orders. Tell them to continue firing until they are told to stop. Captain Park, what is the status of the anomaly?
So anyway, so that's the audio. Okay. Now, for Pro Tools, for you to access the plugin, it won't be accessible through the track. Usually it's under Dynamics, and you won't find it here. It's GainAimPro, so G, no, not here. So in their tutorial video of how to use it, for Pro Tools, it's in the Audio Suite. So you have to click on Audio Suite, drop down comes out, go to Dynamics, and then you'll see it somewhere in the middle, obviously a letter G, and then GainAimPro. Click on it. And there you go. Initial look into it. I mean, it's big enough to fit the entire screen. It's not my usual. I'm not used to this kind of plugin that's like it eats up like 3/4 of the screen, but you'll see why. Okay, so just for you to see the audio clip on the side, losing my voice here. Okay, so for you to properly use GainAimPro, before we start into using it, let's look into it. So everything is on here, GainAimPro. Right now it's on default, because later on if you want to you have like certain settings that you want, like you don't like it to be, you don't like the level that they initially start with. You don't like how the noise gate works, their breath eliminator, their sibilance settings, everything. We can manually tamper with it if we want to, but basically this plugin is your virtual assistant, and this is like their recommended settings based on your recording. Now, for us to actually import this recording, we have to click on the clip and then load audio. So there we go, right? I mean, it's all there. Nothing's been changed. Nothing's been tampered yet. And then we have to click on Analyze so that the plugin can best advise you on what the plugin is going to do to the audio for it to reach its maximum potential before you pass it on to your client or your producer. Okay, so let's click on Analyze. So it's detecting regions. There you go. All right, so there you go. Okay. So what is what, right? Okay. So for us to really know what happened here, I mean, let's check and compare visually, okay, because we look at our eyes. We use our eyes to look into like what's happening here. Okay, so let's look at the audio over here. Let's play it.
Yellow Sea, somewhere off the coast of Jeju Island.
Okay, we'll just stop it there. And then we're going to listen to it here.
Yellow Sea, somewhere off the coast of Jeju Island. It's destroying the Gyeonggi-ho!
Okay, so just in case you can't like hear the difference, just look at the clips, okay, on this green clip. So let's try to render it. So basically this is like the AI plugin is suggesting these changes or these improvements, and we're just going to render it and then just look at the green clip over here. So that's what it suggested, okay? Everything that's been changed has been suggested here, and we just applied it, okay? If we want to undo that, on your DAW, Because normally I would like click on something here, like undo, but it doesn't work that way. You have to click on your DAW and then undo. Redo, undo. Okay? Now if you want to hear it, you'll have to click on here, over here on the lower left of the, you know what? Let's just make it bigger since it's eating up like 3/4. Let's maximize it as well. Okay? So you have to go on the lower left button of the plugin so that you can hear it.
Yellow Sea, somewhere off the coast of Jeju Island.
Okay, if you heard the difference between this one and the original.
Yellow Sea, somewhere off the coast of Jeju Island.
Okay, if you notice it pushed it, you know, the plugin pushed it more. The sad thing about this plugin, you can't like, unlike other plugins, you can't like go to a certain selection, certain clip point and start from there. It doesn't work that way. So basically this plugin is like treating the entire thing and it saves you time. So it kind of tells you, you don't have to listen to the entire thing. I got you. I've sorted it out all for you. But now what we're going to do is we're going to dissect like what the plugin did. Okay. Oh, by the way, just in case you're also doing it for instruments, there's a mode here. If you click on it, right now we're on vocal. If we click on it, it'll go to instrument mode. Okay. But since it is a voiceover, we're going to go to vocal. Okay. So what is the ride? The ride. The ride is basically where the signal or the frequency strength is going to be playing around. Okay. Ideally, obviously, it's suggesting from top to bottom, from the lowest point to the highest point possible. Okay. You can choose like at the lower part, because all our audios, all our recordings have a central point. It's like saying, do you want to operate from this part only? Do you want to work on this part? Or do you want to work on the top or upper part? But I suggest let the plugin work the entire way. So this is to link it, to chain it, and just basically what you're saying is work between these frequencies. Okay, negative 32 dB and 32 dB. Work there. What is smooth? So smooth is basically, it came out. It smooths out the loudness changes applied by the rider. Higher smoothing values allow you to lower the rider's speed. I have no idea what that meant. I just operate, I just tinker and tamper until it sounds good to my ears. There's a pre-filter here. I also don't know what it means. I'm being honest here. I don't know what it does. Like if it's at C, you know, basically I'm just trusting the plugin, you know. And of course, we don't want any clipping, just in case it like pushes the audio as much as it can. But in the process, there are other plugins that if you push it, it doesn't prevent you from clipping. What is clipping? Clipping is basically going over the workable space, thus losing some signal and data, and it sounds like it's been distorted because it's been clipped. So what this does is it prevents clipping, so it'll try to push as much as it can without clipping your recording. So that's clipping. If you don't want that on, you can turn it off, but why would you want to do that? I mean, the plugin's trying to help you out here, right? So turn that on. Just for us to see, it's not working that way. Okay, just for us to see where it works from. So it's working from the bottom over here, negative 32, all the way up there. Okay, this is the target loudness. You can obviously just click and drag this one, this green line. If you want to raise it, your target, you can do that. You can go all the way to negative 10, and this is what it's suggesting now, based on the adjustment of the target loudness. So these are what it did. Let's see how it reflects on the final output. Let's render it. So if you can see here, right, it's pushed everything. If you're an Adobe Audition user, it's hard limited the audio, which is not really ideal to hard limit a raw recording. Because basically, if you're whispering, shouldn't it be lower and then higher if you're like raising your voice? it shouldn't be equal, really. I mean, speaking realistically, you know. So let's undo that. Obviously, okay. Oh, there you go. Okay, so let's bring it back to -24, the original, the default target loudness. What are these red lines? So these red lines, or these red markers, basically is the plugin pushing down at certain points of the audio. Why does it do that? Because we don't want, basically, it already knows that you don't want to include this part of the signal or this part of the recording. Okay, let's click on basic. So it'll work more on the voice gate or the noise gate. Click on that. So the red lines or the red parts that you're seeing here is basically this. Okay. Sometimes there will be like hums or some grounding that you're hearing over there, or even background noise. So what this is doing is it's eliminating or trying to push down as much as it can to remove those background noises. So basically this is how it operates. Let's try to zoom in a bit here. For you to zoom in into the clip in the plugin, you have to scroll. Okay, let's see. Okay, right over here. Okay, let's focus somewhere there. Okay, so keep your eyes on this part. Okay, so it is gated, this part, because it can sense that, okay, there is some unwanted noise here, so we are not going to air this. But just in case you want to, which I don't know why you would want to, let's lift the threshold or the reduction level higher here, and look at that part. Look at that part that I told you to look at, and see the adjustment. Okay. So it's lifted it. So some signal over here will be able to go through, and none of the signal from above this point will come in. But then again, that's background noise. So why would you want that? So let's put it all the way back down again. Just in case you find the noise reduction too aggressive, you can always move this part. So this is the tail end of the previous recording. So that would be this point over here on the left side. If you find it a little too aggressive on the cut, you can always adjust it. So you can say, oh, let's move it further to the left. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. Further to the left so it's smoother. Or if you want it a little tighter, you can do that as well. What's the original? 150. So what's this? The original. Same goes with the other part. From the noise reduction, from the part that's been silenced, obviously the signal will come in again. So you want to see how aggressive or how abrupt you want that to come in. So you can go in like this. So you saw it. It's pretty aggressive. See, it's even suggested like this. Let's just stick to this one to the maximum, so it doesn't really ruin your recording. And then you can, let's see, -750 milliseconds. Wow, that's a really slow cure. Anyways, so 150 it is. Okay. So that's for the voice gate. The cutoff. Oh. Okay, I'm just being real here. It's only now that I'm tampering with this. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know what exactly happened there, but obviously we want to get rid of as much background noise as possible here. Now, for the breath. What's great about this plugin is it has AI that already knows when there is a breath in the recording. In this case, I know it's this one. Obviously, I can't. See, that's my problem with this plugin. Let's say I want to listen to that, this particular portion of the recording, and I don't know what this is. But from experience, I know there's like a breath over here, as well as this one. It's already detected that it's a breath. So it's pushed it down. Not so much that it's eliminated it, but you can eliminate it if you want to. Clicking on the breath over here. Threshold. Okay, so lifting it up. You noticed If you notice, it kind of went up as well, but obviously we want to push it down as much as we can because we want to get rid of that. Okay, there it is. The range and the transition speed of how aggressive you want it to process your breath. Okay? Now for the sibilance, a sibilance is basically those s, w. No, it's more of the S's, okay? The S's. Click on the sibilance. Now the sibilance, the plugin knows which is a sibilant. It's highlighted by a lighter gray than the rest of your recording. So it knows that this is a sibilant, this one's a sibilant. Let's go to the beginning so we can actually play it. So the middle part, it already knows over here, it's a sibilant. Let's play it.
Yellow C.
C, right? So it kind of detected C.
Yellow C.
So it's already cured it as much as it can. Yellow C. Without sounding too forceful into your recording. Yellow C. Okay. So it's already placed a threshold of -12, which is pretty good for a sibilant. But it's really up to your ears. But if you don't want to stress too much on like, what is the right level for, if you're encountering sibilants? If you don't want to, bang your head on the wall, rely on the plugin. Because basically this plugin is AI. It's your virtual assistant. It's your AI support. It's your AI tech, your AI sound engineer. So it's already suggesting this is what you want to do. Okay? So it's pretty easy, really. It's a no-brainer to use this plugin if you don't know how to really edit. Now, just in case you're curious and you want to, I don't want it this way, you can always go to this, which is not in their how to use video. There's a pencil over here, or a pen if you want. If you want to move, if you want to adjust certain dots or certain points in your recording in a particular, whichever way, let's say in the voice gate, you want to move a point over here on the lower left. You can always use this pencil. Let's click on it. And so basically, let's say I want to push this down further. Just hover over the point. Click and drag as low or as high as you want. And there you go. So let's bring it down further. Okay, and let's say you find it a little too aggressive on the cut. You can smoothen it out further manually or make it like an actual cut. If you want to undo what you just did, there's on the upper left, there is an undo, 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 until there's nothing to undo. Are you sure you want to override your manual? Yes, I want to override it. No, I don't want to override it. Okay, and then whatever changes you made, you can actually save it on your presets. Once you've made any changes, you can click on this floppy disk and just save it and label it and place it on. It'll just automatically, if you're using Pro Tools, it'll save your preset into the folder for GainAimPro. Okay. So basically, I didn't touch anything because I already originally listened to it, and it already sounds great as it is. Okay, and that's the process. So if you want to process it into the clip, just render it again, and that's the ideal.
Yellow Sea, somewhere off the coast of Jeju Island. It's destroying the Gyeonggi-ho! Fire everything we have.
And there you go. GainAimPro by Noiseworks Audio. So, did you like it? I've used it a couple of times now, and I gotta say that GainAimPro is the kind of plugin that saves anyone's time and even judgment on audio editing, as it can just take seconds to fix your raw recording. If you're an advanced or professional audio engineer, you may find that this plugin isn't really necessary, as by now, you might have your own preferred settings for curing the background noise, the sibilance, the breaths, the overall gain, the clipping, etc. Heck, my first gripe was the plugin didn't cure the clicks in the recording. Then again, this is made specifically to make anyone editing audio as easy as possible with the help of its AI-suggested settings. For the price of $169, I say it's worth it, especially since the plugin does all the work for you. If you decide to get it, come back here and let me know what you think in the comments section. Hope it helps!